It's scary, but it's also extremely rewarding. It's fun knowing that like you've got 2-3 weeks of solid work. A con is definitely not knowing when work's going to come in, and it's tough. I wasn't sure really what I wanted to do, and wise counselor told me, well, take something you love. So I found a filmmaking class, film appreciation class, and that was it. I really fell in love with camera early on and wanted to know as much as I could with the camera. So I found myself taking as many production classes as I could throughout Cleveland State, varying from TV production, film production, commercial work, kind of anything to just get a camera in my hands and start shooting and making stories. I graduated in 2012 and started freelancing right then and really made full-time cinematography and freelance my only thing, going on coming up on 6 years, I should say.
Your passion started with movies, and it sounded like in the early career, and even when I was working with you on a lot of short films, budgets are a thing. There's not a lot of money out there for short films, and if there is, you can be fortunate to find great projects to work on. But there's also another side to cinematography, the corporate side, working for businesses and companies. So can you elaborate on your journey, kind of navigating through the film space and then shifting your way to making it full time for yourself as a freelancer?
Sure. So coming out, corporate was definitely where the money is, and that's even under a pandemic, still where it is. So I had a lot of, I was fortunate enough, I should say, to have word of mouth spread. Hey, Bob's got a camera. He knows what he's doing. We can hire him for X, Y, and Z. So it's definitely started doing talking head corporate stuff, sitting down with, a business owner or somebody from an organization who had a story to tell, make that look good, shoot some nice B-roll, and that project leads to another project. And corporate is a nice place to kind of live as a freelancer. You get to eat. You get to know that you got a roof over your head, which is always important. But if you play your cards right, kind of like I have, you can really build yourself up and set yourself up to go and chase some things like short films, film in general, or even just be able to take on projects that might not have a budget, but because you know that you have enough of a paycheck coming in from corporate stuff, you can sacrifice a little bit and take on a project that is truly about the passion, truly about the art, because at the end of the day, I do see myself as an artist that leverages business opportunities to eat, but it's all about the story for me and trying to, make something beautiful and collaborate with other fun artists and make something we can all be proud of at the end of the day.
So you mentioned something, and it seems like a lot of your business comes from word of mouth, from working on one project, and then you do a great job and they recommend you to another job or another company. I'm curious how much, or if you want to give me a percent of your new business comes from referrals.
100% of all of my business comes from referrals. I have a website just for when somebody says, hey, this guy over here, Bob, his stuff is pretty good. What do you think? I can say, well, here, check out my site. It's got all my contact info on there. It needs an overhaul, so I don't want to plug it too much, but I've just gotten a lot more gear is really the thing that I want to put up, and because that's what it comes down to. But all of my work is referrals.
Yeah, and being 100% word of mouth, maintaining those relationships is really important. Can you give me a little insight on how you maintain those relationships and keep on friendly terms with your customers?
Absolutely. I hate the term customer. It's because it sounds really cold. I did retail before this. And even client is weird because at the end of the day, a lot of the people that I work with, they are friends. Whether it's a production company that's hiring me up to just be a DP for them, the project's already ready to go. The only thing they're missing is a guy with a camera. Or it's my buddy that I've known for over a decade who calls because he needs something. It's most of these people are my friends. They might have started as business acquaintances, but that's really what it is. It's a relationship that's about being friendly, knowing each other's needs, which can be tough. But I try to listen as much as I can to people when they're looking for some work. But at the end of the day, I let the work speak for itself most of the time.
Can you tell us a little bit about the pros and cons of being self-employed? I'm not sure. It doesn't sound like it, but I don't think you've worked with another production company as like a full-time staff, or like where they just give you projects in that regard.
The last job that I had where I got a W-2 and had taxes taken out was working retail for the Cleveland Zoo. So that was the last grown-up job, as some might see. But I've been full-time freelance since 2015. It's scary, but it's also extremely rewarding. It's fun knowing that like you've got 2-3 weeks of solid work ahead of you. It's really nice. You sleep really easy at night, and that's nice. A con is definitely not knowing when work's going to come in. Global pandemic really highlighted that for a lot of people that do gig work, and it's tough. But you really have to plan ahead to kind of keep, yourself afloat as best as you can. A pro to working for yourself is I love snowboarding. So it wouldn't be uncommon for me to not have work for a few days, especially this time of year during the winter, and just pack up, leave, go snowboarding, hang out, and you get to make your own schedule. That's definitely the best part about working for yourself. But it's also the exact reason that working for yourself can be extremely trying is because you don't know when that next gig might come in. So that's a pro and a con really for working for yourself is scheduling and being able to sit down and, hammer out a day and set yourself up for success is another big thing to take into consideration when you want to work for yourself, because it can be tough to wake up in the morning when you don't have anything that's really going to make you leave the house, get out of bed, or do anything productive for work. But it's tough. And once you kind of get into a little bit of a routine, it becomes second nature. And I'd recommend, not to anybody, but definitely try working for yourself a little bit. It gives you a really nice perspective to other people that are trying to do it. And it will also make you appreciate those that can, and how nice it is when you get to go into a job Monday through Friday and not really have to worry about too much.